when we talk about generational talents in college basketball, who are some of the generational talents that stick out to you from Jump Street?
Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and set this clear here. I'm gonna set the expectation here. First of all, let's define generational talent. It's a player who dominates an era and stays on top of the game for 10 plus years. I'm gonna give you some examples of players who are elite players but not generational talents. Christian Laettner, elite college basketball player, not generational talent. Jay Williams, my guy, I love him to death. Elite basketball player, not generational. Jerry Stackhouse, elite college basketball player, not generational. The generational players, I've only seen about 5 of them in my lifetime, are Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony, Derrick Rose, and I'm going in order here, John Wall and Zion Williamson are the only generational players I've seen in my lifetime. Because we overutilize we overutilize that verbiage, bro. Those are the only ones, bro.
Casey, I know you left that one on purpose.
Who you talking about?
Come on, go James. You know.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about college basketball, bro. Of course, LeBron. Yeah, of course, LeBron, Kobe would have to be added to that discussion. But collegiately, Michael Jordan wasn't generational. Collegiately, nobody thought that what he did, what Tar Heel, because who was the best player on their team? James Worthy. His first year might have been Sam Perkins after James Worthy. So we sit here and we use these phrases like generational so often. Like, so you see, before my time, David Thompson was generational. We knew David Thompson, Lou Alcindor, Will Chamberlain, Bill Walton was generational. You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew these players were going to have instant success at the next level. So, yeah, I mess with LeBron. LeBron's kid is in the NBA now, bro. Seeing Bronny drop 30, like, I'm a fan of LeBron now, bro. I just don't like when people compare him to Jordan. That's all.
My fault. I thought you let that LeBron. I was like,
I would never do that intentionally. I'm talking about people who were stars at the collegiate level, and you knew automatically in the NBA you would see success. That's generational.
I think you left that one.
Who I leave out?
Anthony Davis.
I was about to ask you, is AD made generational?
No.
Yes, he is.
AD is generational.
I think,
AD is generational. AD is generational. No, I did leave out AD.
I remember. I remember the AD hype. Like it was like something like that. It was like the first. I didn't get to see LeBron hype.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see Derrick Rose hype when he was in the NBA.
Right.
I never got to see a player like, okay, going into college, like he's gonna be this guaranteed superstar. Like, yeah, the John Wall one was.
Who would have been if they went to college? Brandon Effin Jennings. Do you remember his hype? Seriously, do you remember his hype coming out of high school, bro? I know. See, more old enough to remember.
I remember.
Yo, he's arguably the greatest Oak Hill player ever. Ever.
And there's some talent that came out of Oak Hill.
Yeah. But now continue. So AD, I did miss AD.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep my list short, bro. Because generational is such that's a word, bro. But yeah, AD is definitely one.
And then with the exception of LeBron,
Yeah, because I'm like. I remember the AD hype. Like, I never saw somebody like, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins. Like, I do remember doing a John Wall and stuff like that. But the hype wasn't there like how it was for Anthony Davis. It was just like, oh, this dude Anthony Davis, like he's like the next superstar. Like he's gonna dominate the NBA. He just got this long wingspan, 6'10", 6'11". He hit this growth spurt.
Former PG, yeah.
Yeah, like and he led Kentucky to this one and done. Like I remember it was like a billboard of him having his showing off his wingspan with like the basketball.
I remember that.
Like
so that makes me ask you a question though. Is generational talent not just game on the floor, but overall cultural impact as well?
Yes.
Great verbiage.
You gotta have that.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have that. Like that's why Zion was so. Like
Duke games were must see TV, bro.
Yeah, like Duke games were must see TV. Like even like because I only know a handful of generational talent. Like I knew LeBron was like ever since I've been alive, it's been like LeBron, Anthony Davis, Zion, and then like Wemby. Um, like those are four guys that like okay, like I know for sure they were hyped up as generational talents.
Right. Yeah.
And you had the guys that were like seeing okay, yeah, these dudes gonna be NBA superstars like the Andrew Wiggins, Jabari
For
Parkers,
sure.
um, Marvin Bagley's.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, nah, his height. Marvin Bagley's height was real.
That's-
bro.
it was so-
His height was
yeah.
real.
Who's some
He-
more names?
He came out in the heart
DeAndre
of the
Ayton.
the mixtape era. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like this was like during the hoop mixtape balls
Mixtape,
life.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
like you had freaking the kill car out here and
Yo.
like
Hey, my man was literally helping stop the violence alone in the mean streets of Baltimore.
Dang, bro. This
like-
conversation just makes you think about Mikey Williams and
Yeah,
what
like-
could have been.
like I can't like I don't see Kobe as a generational talent because I think as far as I know, him coming into the NBA, he just wasn't viewed as that. Like to me, to be a generational talent, you have to be like viewed as that. It's not just becoming a generational talent, but it's also
Right.
like I can be okay. Zion, no way now he's a generational talent.
Well, can
But
we
I remember the hype. I remember him being viewed.
can we admit
Go
that the draft that he was in though, it's hard to be generational talent when you're in the draft with I mean hell, Steve Nash was in that draft. Ray, it was just a bunch of top tier talent in that draft. So if he's in another class, he might have been viewed as generational. But
but I just even when I look at stories and videos back of going into that draft, like I still don't hear people talk about him like, oh, like yeah, he was supposed to be this guy that was supposed to be this franchise changer. It's supposed to be this 20-year guy.
That just goes to show how much television had changed in just 7 short years. We didn't see Kobe's high school games on TV just because cable hadn't progressed that far. But we seen LeBron games. You could pay $2 if you wanted to on pay-per-view if you wanted to watch certain LeBron games. And you think my dad didn't pay that too? Well, he ain't pay it. He got it. He ain't pay it though. You know what I'm saying? But you think my dad ain't play that? He ain't get that game. It just shows like now where frequently we see high school. I think it was just limited access. You know what I'm saying back then.
Yeah, like I remember the Trey Youngs and all that. Like Trey Young was close to a generation. Like he was close to being hyped up as like a generation because he was like people
His
saw him as, like,
his
the
hype
best.
was crazy. His hype was crazy, but not coming out of high school though.
Yeah, it was going into
in college.
going to the
Yeah.
NBA because I remember it was like, oh, he's the best freshman since Melo. Like he's the best true freshman since Melo and stuff like that. Yeah, but is Cooper Flagg generational talent? No,
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah,
it's not remotely close, bro.
Yeah, like I'm like his hype is nowhere near Zion's. His hype is nowhere near AD's. Is not near. Nobody is ever touching LeBron hype, probably.
He got that GW hope.
What's GW hope?
Figure it out.
Somebody in the comments will be like, "Where's GW hope?"
Oh man, yeah. No, he is it just like Christian Laettner, not generational. Shaq, it was a generational talent. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like, if you want to say David Robinson, I can see some pushback, but I can see why.
Yeah, his will be difficult because of the military thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? Because he got drafted in 87, but didn't play to 91.
No, I think he got drafted 84, 83, somewhere.
83. I know he got drafted and it took a while.
He played in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. It took him a while. He did. You're right. It took him a while, but because of his military, thing, he had to
stay over.
Yeah. So no. Cooper Flagg isn't generational. I think it's interesting we have this argument because like how many generational talents can you name in the NFL or somebody collegiately that came
probably none. NFL
right now, no.
Like Arch Manning would be like this generational talent.
Yeah. He's on.
If you want to talk about hype and cultural impact, then
like Tom Brady is not a Tom Brady wouldn't view as a generational talent.
He's
a development piece.
Yeah.
In the right
exactly.
system.
Yeah, not at all.
Was
Josh
Peyton
Allen
Manning
getting
viewed
hype
as
now?
generational talent? Because I don't know.
No. No.
Ooh, he had hype. He had hype, but he wasn't generational though. Maybe in the South, but nah, he wasn't generational because with generational people, you don't have to argue who the best. You feel me? But like with with him, people were arguing that Ryan Leaf was gonna be better than him. So you can't say generational. Also, the league was different back then. They wanted big, tall, slow quarterbacks with 1,000 IQ.
Yeah. Generational. Reggie Bush.
Oh man, 10-year-old me thought Cam Newton was generational.
Dude, Cam Newton was generational.
Reggie Bush generational. Who else? Like it's many that we can name, but yeah, I feel like this criteria from like all across the board still stays the same. Like the hype part of it.
Like what Ohtani's doing in baseball right now.
Yeah.
It's a difference. Like being a generational prospect and just become like a general Luka would probably be a generational player.
It's crazy.
We'll probably win 4 MVPs in his career. That Larry Bird, Magic Johnson is probably a generational player. Like
Magic and Bird are both generational players. Michael Jordan, however, was not a generational player. Like people, they pretend like he was this great. He was good. He had a bunch of athleticism. He was exciting, but Dean Smith's system didn't really allow for him to go crazy.
Right. I love the conversation. You can add on to the conversation in the comments. Let us know what you think, what the criteria is of being a generational player, and how does that fare with what we said, what we talked about.